Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. October 3rd. Serenity After the Storm. Someone who knew what he was talking about once remarked that pain was the touchstone of all spiritual progress. How heartily we AAs can agree with him. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 93 and 94. When on the roller coaster of emotional turmoil, I remember that growth is often painful. My evolution in the AA program has taught me that I must experience the inner change, however painful, that eventually guides me from selfishness to selflessness. If I am to have serenity, I must step my way past emotional turmoil and its subsequent hangover, and be grateful for continuing spiritual progress. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, October 3rd. Clearly, I didn't know what compassion was, but I knew what it was not. Compassion was not seeking revenge, holding a grudge, calling names, or screaming and throwing things in anger. Yet, that was how I frequently behaved toward this person I claimed to love. For me, the beginning of learning compassion was to eliminate such behavior. While I still have a hard time defining compassion, I think it starts with the recognition that I am dealing with a sick person who sometimes exhibits symptoms of a disease. I don't have to take it personally when these symptoms, such as verbal abuse, appear, nor do I have the right to punish anyone for being sick. I am a worthwhile human being. I don't have to sit and take abuse, but I have no right to dish it out either. Today's reminder: I will spend more time with myself in this lifetime than with anyone else. Let me learn to be the kind of person I would like to have as a friend. There is a quote from S.R. Hole, and it reads, "He who would have beautiful roses in his garden must have beautiful roses in his heart." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, October 3rd. Losing Self-Will. Our egos, once so large and dominant, now take a back seat because we are in harmony with a loving God. We find that we lead richer, happier, and much fuller lives when we lose self-will. Basic text, page 105. Addiction and self-will go hand in hand. The unmanageability that we admitted to in step 1 was as much a product of our self-will as it was of our chronic drug abuse. And today, living on self-will can make our lives just as unmanageable as they were when we were using. When our ideas, our desires, our demands take first place in our lives, we find ourselves in constant conflict with everyone and everything around us. Self-will reflects our reliance on ego. The only thing that will free us from self-will and the conflict it generates in our lives is to break our reliance on ego, coming to rely instead on the guidance and power offered us by a loving God. We are taught to consult spiritual principles, not our selfish desires, in making our decisions. We are taught to seek guidance from a higher power, one with a larger vision of things than our own. In doing this, we find our lives meshing more and more easily with the order of things around us. No longer do we exclude ourselves from the flow of life. we become a part of it and discover the fullness of what recovery has to offer. Just for today, I seek freedom from ego and the conflicts generated by self-will. I will try to improve my conscious contact with the God of my understanding, seeking the guidance and power I need to live in harmony with my world. Today, Emotions Anonymous, October 3rd. Reflection for today. It is part of my emotional illness that I feel a vague but overwhelming sense of something wrong with me. If allowed to control me, this feeling leads to withdrawal, despondency, and a sense of powerlessness. The antidote of self-acceptance. This does not mean that I deny my shortcomings. In a searching and fearless inventory, I honestly recognize my defects and my good points. If I set a goal of eliminating all the defects, I am doomed to failure. Only by accepting and using my positive qualities can I develop the strength to reduce the defects. Meditation for today. Help me to concentrate on my strengths. Today I will remember what I am is God's gift to me. What I make of myself is my gift to God. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. October 3rd. Step 10. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. BRB, page 250. As we read Step 10, we see a way of staying current in our daily lives. When we take our daily inventory, we notice where we have succeeded as well as where we have fallen short or need to change. And when we are wrong, we have the courage to deal with it in real time. We no longer shrink from our reality. We embrace the recovery process. We listen in meetings and talk with our sponsors about difficult things. We are getting and opening up channels of communication with our inner child by educating our inner loving parent. The changes we see are magnificent, and we pause to deeply breathe in the love we have surrounded ourselves with. We no longer choke ourselves with fear. We are not perfect and recognize that we are a work in progress. This admission creates a personal circle of compassion and gentleness that we need for our recovery. We reach toward the sky like the beautiful seedlings that we are, stretching out towards the sun as we fulfill our destiny. We do not know exactly where we are going, but we know we need never be alone again. We look at our lives as symphonies that are always playing to us if we are willing to listen. The affirmation reads, "On this day I will hold the ship steady as I cruise along, regardless of what the sea looks like. When I make mistakes, I will remember that practicing the 10th step helps me feel free." Please share, subscribe, hit that notification button for updates, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. To remember that you are not alone, and also that recovery is possible, one day at a time.